Hey people, Zars4 up here and welcome to episode 67, I believe, of Danganronpa 2. Last time we were transported to the Host Academy that we know and love, though granted it's not the same. It's like some weird, we're still in the computer simulation. Like I said, I don't know if this is true, if this is really a computer simulation. That's what I'm thinking, because based on everything that's been happening, and also just the revelations I came into at the end of the last trial, but just really, I just cannot understand what's going on. But anyways, let's get a move on. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of the manga. The tragedy of Host Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't know the details, but, you know, it'd just be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those reserve corps students, right?
But hold on!
That's weird!
Oh, you're here again.
Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course!
Coming from you, Monokuma? Huh?
Hey!
Why'd you forget that you were part of the reserve department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that too!
What do you want me to say?
By the way...
Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of the reserve corps students.
I got it!
Or you willingly sealed those memories yourself.
Huh?
You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often, now that I know anything about that.
Are you saying that's my fault to forget? That's not it.
Come on!
When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve corps student.
Huh?
Damn it, what the heck?
Reserve Department added. We're going for another trial. But you know, now that I think about it, it would make sense if Junko was running the show. I mean, the way they were describing it, Nagito. Perhaps there was perhaps Nagito also survived the incident, but he was even more desperate for hope. So he commandeered some facility. He commandeered Hope's Peak after the dust settled. Junko, she possibly put her mind into some artificial intelligence thing, and so she was in a virtual world, like that Yu-Gi-Oh arc, where Yugi and the gang entered that virtual world with Kaiba's adoptive father and his brother, and the rest of the people of Kaiba Corp. So maybe Junko is the mastermind still, but an AI. I don't know. But anyways, where can we go next? We go to the classrooms? Okay, apparently we can head to 5A. Things are getting glitchy by the second. Okay, is there any other Monokumas hidden? Look. This is another manga. It's lying on top of the desk. On this one, manga for more, the Tragedy Host Academy, huh? Wasn't the Tragedy Host Academy mentioned in that other manga too? It's why Host Academy went bankrupt then. It was the trigger of the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about the incident? I took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages, to see what I could learn about the events known as the Tragedy Host Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings, depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy Host Academy occurred at Host Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuri Kamakura. Izuri was a genius known as a symbol of hope. Host Academy used all the resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses, and possessed various talents. Viewing superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the ultimate hope. Is Nagito that guy? To protect such... Was that Nagito, who Nagito really was? To protect such rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of Izuru's existence. But Izuru, who was known as the ultimate hope, symbol of hope, was responsible for a horrific incident. 13 students of Host Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not end there. The Academy tried to present to Zuru's superior talent and conceal the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. Junko, the student uncovered what the Academy did and by making that knowledge public. It stoked the fires of the reserve corps students, who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And then the uprising began, and that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would become known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Words cited Danganronpa/Zero. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy.
What irony! For a teenager with the ultimate hope to cause such a gruesome incident, a talent like that is too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. Oh, you should be lucky that you're incompetent.
Yeah, he's always has stuff. He always has to lead to something offensive. He seriously pisses me off. Like ultimate hope. Nagito mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different here. What Nagito said was the true meaning of hope. But for Zuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they gave me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. That's right, the reserve department. Here, it said the reserve corps students in the reserve department began an uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. I learned about the tragedy of Hope's Academy, but the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? Certain students who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? Junko, most likely, since she was the ultimate despair. This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. No Monokuma's in here, just want to make sure. Yep, let's leave. Things aren't glitching out as badly. We were to the dojo. Well, let's see if the botany area is open. Nope, not that. Is the deaf classroom, is that open? Okay, let's check. No, the deaf classroom isn't open. Then is the botany lab open? Oh yes, the biology lab is open with its raw. They had to include raw in the program. You can't have Danganronpa without raw. Hope's Peak without raw. Whoa, looks like the area time use. What the hell is with this room? It's so freaking cold here. Well, this was Junko's morgue. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I should investigate so I can get out of here already. There has to be at least something in here. I mean, hidden Monokuma or something. Come on. Aha! Hidden Monokuma! Halfway there.
I've been found.
Yeah, if you ever notice my coin count changing, it's because whenever I boot up the game again, I change the coin amount. I buy a few things from the machine. Speaking of which, I'll show you them. I mean, really, if you want to know. The new ones I bought just recently were Civet Coffee, Package for Gozo, what is that? Iron Fiber, Coconut. We need a coconut. Probably it's probably a big Ibuki thing. Yes, give Ibuki a coconut. Probably got our jeans. They're not jeans, they're jean pants. I already have that. Bavari's gold. Kiss note. Okay. Bicycle to Mikan, I don't know. Blast suppressor. Whipple wings. Snap bracelet. Ghost stone. Message in a bottle. Stardust. Next we have Angel's Fruit. Evil Fruit. And the Gamer's Backpack. Let's check this third mod now. I'll investigate the corpse refrigerators. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least that's what it looks like. But that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It feels just so forced. The idea should have been canceled during development or something. Glad to know Hajime loves breaking the fourth wall. What am I thinking? What, for the creators of the game, like, regretting their decisions? There's another manga just lying around. This time it's how it's manga for more. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, huh? What's this incident really all about? It might just turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. Glad we get the Nagito swirls! A story about creepy little drawn characters who get involved in horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sequence. Sentence. The tragedy of Hope Street Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the reserve corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope Street Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, but the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. But by then, it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished. The wanton destruction became their only goal. The strong butchered the weak. The weak killed the weakest among them. And soon, the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As the violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism and coup d'etats began occurring around the world. A war raged in the name of despair. A war fought not by participants, for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How come movement started by high school students progressed to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope Street Academy. A group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope Street Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. It wasn't because I was freezing in this room. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequented, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant. What's happened to them? They're all gone.
No way!
Hey, are you seriously yelling at our manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? I would, Junko would, Mukuro enjoyed it for a bit, but then the spirits of Ganir got her. I don't know.
What?
Oh my, you don't like manga? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough, what's this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. That's the future foundation's fault though. Thanks to them stealing your school memories, the incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible.
What are you saying?
How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real.
Hello.
Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it.
Or is this Azuru guy? Is he Monokuma? Did he take control of... Did he take control of things? Is he working with Aikido?
I just want to help you guys so you can live well just as life in the outside world.
Yeah, that Azuru guy. He was the one who was talking to... 9 out of 10 chance. He was the one who was talking to Nagito in that boat scene. I see, so that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning.
Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted You know, on the one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world's like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock out or stay here.
He's trying to make us feel despair towards the outside world, so we'll want to stay on this island. There's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Just like now. No, that's definitely it. The tragedy added. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Host Peak Academy to its destruction, like connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Host Peak Academy, plus the organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. Maybe Junko was part of that group. If they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they're actually able to do that, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then are the killings were involved and connected to them as well? It's no use. I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit. I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Phew, that was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Okay, I'm thinking that it's going to possibly be that classroom there, no? Let's go to the botany room. Let's see the chickens. The 4 chickens. Okay, we already were there. Maybe one of the other classrooms? I'm not even sure anymore. Can we go in this classroom already? 5A. We're already here. Yeah, let's go to 5B. 5B. Come on, let's go. Oh, go. This is starting to freak me out. No, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Where's Dr. Fuyiko?
Jeez.
When I went to this room, that bastard bear was suddenly there. He keeps glancing at me. I wonder why. It's gonna be shitty. Crap me out of the way. Sorry about that. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do that either. Monokuma!
Hiya.
Why, hello, Hajime! I hope you're doing pleasantly well. Are you pleasantly well? Are you pleasantly well, right?
What are you doing here?
No.
Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. Hehe, I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth?
You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place.
A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots.
I'm getting really fed up with you with your babbling. Hurry up. Why did you need to tell me?
It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise! It's about the ultimate despair.
Huh?
Even though the term ultimate despair refers to a group these days,
Actually,
it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive.
We're mentioning Junko, a high school girl.
yes, indeed.
Lady Junko Enoshima.
Junko Enoshima?
Hey.
As the former ultimate despair, she created a despair brewing with charm and humor. She created me, and created the ultimate despairs. there was one really horrible person in that group.
Don't fuck with
Now,
me.
hold on a sec. I don't know what the ultimate despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some effed up organization created by a high school girl.
I don't know, Junko. She's a loose cannon. She could probably knock things out. I mean, she had a sister. She has a twin sister who was She had a sister who was the ultimate soldier. She could do it. I don't really know what to believe with Junko anymore.
Humans who are possessed with their philosophy of an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about that.
Hey,
That holds true for Lady Junko.
Considering that. Okay, in which case you're not being operated by Junko or some Junko AI.
With her charismatic ability to attract people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power.
Phew.
Her connections were the main reason that incident became the tragedy in the first place.
Knew it was Junko.
She even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threats.
Huh?
Then what was their purpose?
Huh?
What? Well, like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense.
Because Junko is almost as messed up as Nagito. that she was off her trolley from the day she was born. For God's sake, she killed her own sister because she was bored and wanted to make an example.
They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do what they did without any purpose.
Hey,
It was Junko Inishima's despair.
Huh?
For Junko Inishima, despair is about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Inoshima as Junko Inoshima.
What are you saying?
I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Inoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving, for her, everything is despair.
What the hell?
With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea has been slammed right into their minds. And so the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs.
Wait, so Nagito, Junko's limbs. So Nagito was one of Junko's recruits. So that person. So really. So Nagito was recruited to Junko's cause? He was one of the ultimate despairs?
All despair, whether it was their own or anything else, was dedicated to Junko Inoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food for her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair all in Junko Inoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilations, like Nagito. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do.
There's no way something that crazy is possible.
what?
You saw it firsthand. With Nagito, he mutilated himself. He didn't have to stab himself up that much. The spear would have been just enough. And the knife.
Do you know about the foundation of reserve for students during the tragedy of Host Week Academy?
For final days.
In other words,
Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history.
Hey, what do you mean by final days? What happened to the reserve department?
of course.
They fulfilled their role as disposal limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so the 2,357 students of the reserve department all committed mass suicide. Except you.
Mass suicide!
What'd you say?
All 2,357 students? Oops, it was all of them. One person was excluded.
One person was excluded, huh? Is that me?
Damn it.
I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe this. Ultimate Stress, Junko Inoshima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean,
Bastard!
Junko Inoshima's already dead.
Huh? How do you know this? You're glad to know that they just have Junko with like the Junko smug thing. Ultimate Stress ad. Reserve department. How do you know this? How do you know that Junko died? Hey, Mukuro, is it true that Junko Inoshima is really dead?
Huh?
What, you didn't see? There was a book called Magna for More, Killing School Life in that bloody classroom.
So Junko is dead. Is truly dead, okay. Bloody classroom. No, wait. That was, what was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in. They were killings that happened in Host Week Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took their own life because the rank students worked together to defeat her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. The Killing School Life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from this academy.
Hey,
For a manga about the Killing School Life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags.
Those dumb guys were probably all talk, don't worry.
According to that, the mastermind behind the failed school life was Junko Inoshima.
The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Inoshima is dead.
like...
But if this was a computer program, Junko could very well, like I said, be an AI. She could have had an artificial intelligence. She did have computer programmers, so it could very well be possible that all of her memories, all of her personality, were dumped into a computer simulation. Essentially, these students, they could all be her toys, essentially, right now.
It turns out the Killing School Life is part of that whole biggest, most awful, and whatever incident. Junko took away the memories of former students of Host Week Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Host Week Academy, and she took away the memories. That's just like us. Apparently, the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. That's our limit of being a cool asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing.
So...
The students of Host Week Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. I've also been able to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival. They were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up the plan was stopped. Junko and Ashima failed. Junko lost the suit she placed in her trap. After being overcome by the spell she created, she took her own life. Then, Junko is no more. Then why are you being quiet about it? There's more to that. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. Whether Monokuma story is true or not doesn't matter. That from Danganronpa experience, the dead can have ways of coming back to life. Junko and Ashima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? Well, Izuru, he's definitely on the list. If Junko and Ashima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Spirits behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killers were involved and resemble the killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell is imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation.
No shit.
If the students from Holistic Academy stop the real deal, then there's no way we'll lose some fake. But if this really is an imitation, are those surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting somewhere just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Killing school life has been added. Ultimate Despair has been updated. Man, Hajime! You totally know about that story, huh? Why do you have a problem with that? Well, I really want you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it.
What are you gonna
Oh
do?
well, I guess I'll raise the flag. Flag? What do you mean raise the flag? What's gonna happen if you do that? If it's something that's not anything in the first game, I don't want to be near you when you raise the flag.
Ooh,
One at a time, you can close to clearing my character route. You're not making sense again.
Well now.
Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything I know, including information from the outside world and the inside. I'll raise the flag like crazy. Okay, we'll see those flags being raised in the next episode. I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. I hope you come back for the next one. Like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, wherever you want. And with that, I will see you later. Bye.